Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Come on in. We need to have a conversation about many, many things. I would try to have a series daily about some of the things that we should be working on collectively. Right now, it is September 27th or 28th. I'm not sure, but I know the date is.
29.
Oh, it's the 29th? So it's September 29th. And what's going on worldwide is war. What's going on worldwide is climate change, fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. This is nothing new. These are consistent Mother Nature things that happens all the time. But the year 2023, it has been heightened tremendously. Now, I mentioned that to say this much. For over 20 years, specifically here in the United States of America, you all have been chanting, the end of the world has come. Right? For over 20 years, y'all been chanting that. I remember when 2000 first came in, the whole world was chanting that, how the end of the world is here, how the end of the world is here. It is now 2023, so we talking about 23 years later. Now it appears that what you all were chanting is coming upon us. Now, you only fear when that's all you know. But when you believe and you know strongly something different, that's the furthest thing from you is to fear anything. Those of us who are peacemakers are glorified by the Lord, right? Because we have the Lord in us. We understand that the world will not bring us peace. We understand no matter where we move at in this world, there is no peace. Peace is within us, and peace is what we create amongst chaos. So we are very aware what peace is. And the way the Lord brings us peace is not the way the Lord gives us peace. Amen. So I want to touch on the subject about the banks going bankrupt. Right now, the banks are owed millions. Right now, the banks will need another bailout. Just like many of you needed a bailout, including me for my business when it was COVID, right? Because we couldn't go out and we couldn't work because they demanded that we stay at home and play sheltered in. So now things are about to change around, but it seems to me that COVID is kicking up again because I am sick right now as I speak to you with a virus cold. It's not COVID, it's not the flu. However, I do have COVID symptoms. I'm talking about runny nose, stuffy head, muscle aches, cough, sore throat, runny eyes, itchy eyes. So when I tell you to wash your hands often, and this is 365 days a year, this is not just around COVID time, this is all the time. Put on a mask, wash your hands often, and sanitize your hands often. And stay out of people's face because even though you might be clean, everybody is not clean. Okay? And everybody don't care to be clean. Some people are very barbaric and they do barbaric things. And it's all race of people. There's not just no specific race of people. There's not just a specific tribe. This is all races of people, human beings in general. Right now, many of you owe your landlord an astronomical amount of money for rent that you agreed to pay them on a monthly basis when you signed the contract. Only you know what you agreed with your landlord. All over the world, many of you are not paying your bills. And all over the world, many of you are paying your bills and you have to live with rats, mice, roaches, bed bugs. Don't get me started living with the zoo. I've been there. I know what it feels like. I have no desire, no intentions to live like that. That is horrific. In my true opinion, at that point, I'd rather just go and pitch a tent outside. If I'm going to be living with the bees, birds, and honeys and trees, well, there's no need for me to pay nobody for such an environment when I could just go outside and live that exact way. I mean, the animals at the zoo ain't paying for that environment. Actually, you pay to see the zoo animals caged up to live in an environment such as that. So that's how I feel. If I have to live in such an environment, I might as well pitch a tent outside and I'm going to charge people to come see me live like that. Yeah, right? Okay, then. That's how I picture it. Now, for those of you who feel like you have a slumlord, as I keep mentioning in many of my videos, and I'll mention it here again, know the laws of the land that governs you and your people. It's very important. That's one of the most important things you can do. If you don't have time to do it, usher somebody else to do it. Pay an attorney, pay a paralegal, because a paralegal knows just as much, if not sometimes a lot more than an attorney. A paralegal is major assistance to an attorney. A paralegal charge less, and a paralegal can really help you out. So pay a paralegal or pay an attorney to assist you with any questions you may have. And if you have legal aid in your community, call legal aid when it comes to the law. Now we have Google at our fingertips. Google it. Or do whatever, go to the library. There's many sources that we have that many of you do not use that are free. Use it. Use the free resources before you have to come out of your pocket for anything. But let me get back on course here. So say you have a slumlord. You living in this house, the roof falling apart, mold everywhere. The faucet is leaking, it won't stop. The toilet is running all the time, it won't stop. The floor is crumbling. Um, you got rats, roaches, mice, bed bugs. You go to Lowe's, you go to Depot, you buy kits, you buy it off of Amazon. That don't work. Go down to the courthouse. Put your money in the escrow account. Now, put your money in the escrow account, I'm going to tell you, it's not easy work. And it's not free. Nothing dealing with the courts, even if you file the paperwork yourself, is not free. You are charged for every piece of paper in the courts. And if you lose that case, you lost that money. However, when you file your case and you want to file all your hardships due unto you from that landlord, you file it in that case. It is called an escrow account. You must pay on time every month. And you must pay it to the courts as if you were paying your rent on time. Many of you feel like because you live in a slumlord environment, you do not have to pay your rent. And that is not so. That is not the case. And that is not the law. You still must pay your rent. But I'm going to tell you another way to go about doing it. Put it in the escrow account. What the escrow account is supposed to do is encourage the landlord to fix the complaints that you have on that list. You must show proof that you have been trying to work it out with the landlord, the complaint that you have mentioned on this list. Now, the landlord will be given 30 days approximately, or even more than that, depending on what the court you go to say, is most likely 30 days to get the situation remedied. If the landlord does not remedy the situation in that amount of time, you will be given the money you have put in escrow. And you will be allowed to move forward and move away. Now, as I mentioned to you before, this is not an easy process.